US President Barack Obama announced important news to the world.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
The Al-Qaeda leader was shot dead in a raid by US Special Forces on a compound about 60 kilometers north of Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. The death of bin Laden ends a 10-year manhunt for the world's most wanted man.
السلام على من اتبع الهدى أيها الشعب الأمريكي.
Before his death, the last known sighting of bin Laden by anyone other than his very close entourage was in late 2001, as he prepared to flee his stronghold in Afghanistan. However, in subsequent years, he issued several video and audio messages. How did bin Laden develop his political agenda? From when he first arrived in the Pakistani frontier town of Peshawar in 1981, the town at the entrance to the Khyber Pass, and the road to Afghanistan. And how did this Saudi-born son of a rich construction magnate who joined guerrilla forces in Afghanistan fighting the Soviet Union emerge to become one of the most feared men in the world? This is the story of bin Laden, through the eyes of people who met him.
الشيخ أسامة بن لادن عامل الشباب أكثر من أب. يعني تخيل يدرس بعض الأحيان مثلا لو مرض فينا واحد مرض حمى بسيطة، يبقى الشيخ أسامة بن لادن فوق راسك حتى تفك الحمى.
He was very conscious of his appearance. He would touch his kufiya and his robe.
उसने हाथ धुलवाए, मैंने बड़ी कोशिश की कि ऐसा मत करो, तो हमने पहचान लिया उसामा को। तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं मैं मेहमानों का इकराम खुद करता हूँ, मेरा फर्ज बनता है।
يستمع إليك بأدب شديد ولا يقاطعك على الإطلاق. صوته خفيض جدا، يعني ليس من الشخص الذي يصرخ مثل نحن العرب معروفون يعني بأنه دائما نعلي صوتنا حتى نوصل كلماتنا. هو لا، كان على عكس ذلك في منتهى الأدب.
When he looked me in the eyes and he was answering my questions, he had the tone and manner of an old uncle trying to tell you a story that would be a good example.
Moving from Khartoum to Afghanistan somehow changed his role or changed his strategy.
He was trying to present political arguments which were correct, but he was, I think, not able to prove it from Quran or Sunnah.
Over the years, Al Jazeera's bureau chief in Islamabad, Ahmed Zaidan, has met numerous people. People able to debunk some of the myths and describe some of the characteristics of the man who was Osama bin Laden. A man denounced by his enemies as a religious fanatic and a terrorist, and praised by supporters as a leader fighting Western aggression and subservient Arab regimes. Top Pakistani surgeon Amir Aziz. He was willing to speak about his meeting with Osama bin Laden. In 2002, the British-trained orthopedic surgeon had been held for more than a month by FBI and Pakistani intelligence officers on suspicion of links to Al-Qaeda. He was released after being cleared by investigators. From his clinic in Lahore, Aziz described his meeting with bin Laden in November 2001, shortly before the Taliban government was routed by US-led coalition forces. He said bin Laden had shown no sign of kidney failure, nor had he seen any evidence of dialysis.
The last meeting I had with him was after 9/11. This was in Kabul, where I was treating patients, and he had just come to see his injured and say hello. He was walking normally, he was eating normally, he was looking hale and hearty, and I find it very hard to believe that such a healthy person could be on dialysis. I don't buy this at all. And during one of my visits to Kandahar, I was asked to see a patient in the rest house where I was put up by the Taliban, and it turned out to be Osama bin Laden, who I was told had fallen off his horse. On examination, I did not find anything seriously wrong with him. I did some manipulation of his back, taught him some exercises, and prescribed some medication, and that's about it. This was the total meeting. Then after that, I met him in Kandahar again in a place which was near the airport. It was an old building, a camp-like, with multiple small buildings, and there was a big lunch in a big hall.
Having failed to capture bin Laden in 2001, many Americans placed faith in reports that bin Laden was near to dying of kidney disease. If he did have